And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Fight for Olympus. This is a two-player game from Mayfair and Lookout Games. I was a little worried because their last two-player game was not a very good one. But this one here by Matthias Kramer, you're basically putting cards on one side of the table and trying to control and attack different areas. There's lots of different Greek warriors and Greek mythology and Hercules. So some pretty cool artwork. Let's hope it's a good game. Let's hope. Here we go. A player can win this game in one of three ways. If you have a card on each side of the board on your side, at the beginning of your turn you win. There is a token here. If you get it to the 7, the victory point token, you win. And if the draw pile runs out of cards and the token is on your side of the board, then you win. Players are going to be trying to accomplish these goals by utilizing these cards. The deck is made up of all sorts of cards. There are soldiers and heroes and heroine and equipment cards. There's two of each soldier in the deck, but only one of each of the heroes and heroines in the deck. Now the first thing you do in your turn is play a card. When you play a card, let's say I want to play these guys from my hand, you have to pay the cost. This one requires a blue card, so I can discard a blue card from my hand to play it. Sometimes the costs are higher, blue, yellow, and red. And sometimes there's no cost at all. As you go through the deck, sometimes they're free, like this one. Sometimes you have a wild card, like Heracles here, who can be used as any color when discarding him to pay the cost of a card. When you pay the cost of a card, you can put them in any empty spot on your side of the board. There are soldiers and heroes. Equipment would be added to a soldier or hero or heroine. So for example, this one, when you play this card, you receive a victory point. So I take a victory point when I play it. And then I would put this sword on this soldier who is now a 2 attack and has 2 health. When I would play him, I would also draw a card. So there's lots of special abilities on all the different characters. Not everything has a special ability, but they're going to do different things. After I'm done playing cards, then each person I have is going to attack directly across from them, if there is somebody else there for them to attack. So let's say these guys are attacking Paris here. They would do 1 damage to Paris, and I'd put 1 token. When Paris gets to 5 damage, then Paris is dead. If there's nobody across from you, you get a special ability depending on where you have it. In these 3 slots, if no one's across from you, you move the victory point 1 spot towards you for each person who no one's attacking. If they're over here, you can take one of these discs if any of them are available. If none are available, you take one from your opponent. These discs can be used, you can spend them and put them back in the middle to pay the cost of cards in the future. And if you have one here, you will get to draw a card. So the different spots, if you are undefended, are going to give you bonuses. You will continue doing this back and forth, playing cards, then attacking, then at the end of your turn drawing 2 cards, and you keep going till one person has met one of the victory conditions. So Fight for Olympus is a fine game. It has some very simple concept. There's nothing that's really, again, groundbreakingly new. There are lots of games in which you will discard cards from your hand to pay for other cards. There are lots of games where you have cards that attack the row in front of them, and there is definitely games where you are trying to score a certain amount of victory points. Seven Wonders Duel comes to mind, although comparing these two is not quite fair because Seven Wonders Duel is an amazing 2-player game, and this one is merely a good one. Now, like I said, I do like the artwork of this game. I think the concepts are simple. You don't have to be groundbreaking to be fun. And discarding cards from your hand to play these cards is a neat idea. The biggest problem that the game has is just a simple one of luck. Some of the cards are better than other cards, and getting those in your hand. For example, getting one of these big heroes in your hand, you're like, wow, well, that's expensive to play, needs a lot of cards. Yes, but that hero also can be discarded to play pretty much any card. So drawing a big hero either allows you to play someone with a really cool special ability, or it's a while to play any other card. So drawing more heroes than your opponent is certainly going to help you out. And just drawing heroes with better special abilities than other people. For example, when this person attacks, you get a victory point. That's pretty powerful. When you play this person, you draw a card for each enemy hero in play. Well, that's situational, but can be powerful. When you play this person, you can move one of your units to a free space on your side. That's okay. A unit next to this person can attack twice per round. That's okay. And I should mention that some of the heroes and the cards have 0 attack. Those will not attack. They're simply there as a defensive measure. But like cards like this one, Jason is an extremely powerful card. Now he's a lot to play, but when you play him, your opponent draws one less card in phase 3. So they need to take Jason out as quickly as possible, but he also has 4 health, so they're going to need someone powerful, and when they're drawing less cards, Jason can be a real game changer. And that would be, like I said, my only problem with the game is that some of the characters just seem to be much better than others. Now, this game is very light. I don't have a problem with that. You're sitting here going, okay, am I going to put characters over here to try to move that point to this side? Do I want to get these little markers here so I can play cards cheaper? Or do I want to draw more cards? Because more cards is always a good thing. It gives you a better advantage when fighting in the battle. The gameplay is pretty quick. I mean, the box here says 30 minutes or less. I would say that's very, very accurate. Maybe 20 minutes, especially when you know what you're doing. And it's an inoffensive game, I guess is the best word. I enjoy it. It's just that I feel like as time goes by, it's going to get lost in all the other 2-player games that are out there. And someone's like, hey, do you remember Fight for Olympus? Like, yeah, that was fun. Do you want to play it? Sure, unless there's a better 2-player game, and there is a lot of them. So good, just not great. Dice Tower Judgment, approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.